My horses and I have traveled over 3,000 miles.
We're gonna cross a big chunk of the state of Ohio this week.
But this journey is not over yet, because we still have plenty to go before reaching our goal of crossing through 25 states and traveling 6,000 miles.
Denver and Eddie are so used to meeting new faces, they're usually the more disinterested ones.
This is the Year of the Mustang.
Okay, it is the beginning of week 46, Monday, and I am leaving Massillon, Ohio. We're gonna be headed to a town called Worcester today. Got a long day, about 25 and a half miles. Luckily, we got the load driven ahead by Amanda. We also stayed with Amanda and her family, so a big thanks to all of them for putting us up this weekend. Toughing out a little bit of heat today, but that's all right. We got a breeze right now. Should be good. We're gonna cross a big chunk of the state of Ohio this week. Coming into the town of Worcester. Okay, we are getting in for the night. Okay, it is Wednesday and I have left Worcester, Ohio, and a big thanks to Tristan and Peyton and Marty and all their friends and family for looking after us the last 2 nights. We are off, gonna be headed to the town of Ashland today. We got Doug driving the load ahead, so thanks to him for doing that. We're looking at 21 miles in total. And we got off a little late today, but that's all right, we'll make it. Nice and cool. Had some good rain last night and the day before.
All right, so lots of you have been asking about my saddle. What kind is it? Where can they get one? So let's talk a bit about Wade saddles. Now, my saddle is a Wade slick fork. Slick fork is just kind of the inherent design of the seat. Makes it a little narrower in front, easy to get on and off, really good for long days. So that's kind of the design of the slick fork. But I want to talk a little bit about Wades and the history of the Wade. So the saddle's name comes from Clifford Wade, whose family came west on the Oregon Trail. Clifford had a saddle made by an unknown maker that his dad had brought with him from the east. And I'm going to bring this name up from time to time, but Tom Dorrance was living in Wallowa County, Oregon at that time. He was cowboying with Clifford Wade, and he saw Clifford as a hand, and he admired this saddle. Now, the story goes that Tom took Clifford's saddle in 1939 to the Hamlin Co. Saddle Shop in Pendleton County, Oregon. And I have visited that exact same saddle shop. If you guys are into leather, you need to see this place. It's absolutely incredible. Anyhow, Dorrance had them make a copy of that original Wade saddle tree. And after a couple of years, he went back later on to work through some kinks. He had Walt Youngman do some improvements to it, and Dorrance continued to ride that saddle throughout his career and his whole life. The makers originally wanted to call it a Dorrance tree, but Tom wanted it named after Clifford Wade, so thus the Wade saddle was born. Hamlin Co. made a number of them that were scattered throughout the Great Basin, and they later gained a lot of traction with the buckaroos, which many liked due to the wide yet very low-sitting saddle horn, which provided a horse and rider a lot of leverage when roping cattle. Not to mention the overall shape and fit, which made it sticky on a horse, not sliding in rough mountain country or on the flats. Today, lots of Western saddle makers will make their version of a Wade. Mine was built by Coriani Saddle Company in Anthony, New Mexico. So shout out to Coriani Saddle Co. for making a saddle that has not only served me through years of horse training, but also now has ridden over 4,000 miles across the U.S. Now, my saddle is obviously one of the most important and essential pieces of equipment on this trip. There's no riding the horses without it. So it's important that I have a good saddle, but also that I take good care of it. Now, as you can see, a saddle is primarily made of leather, and while leather is a very durable and good material, it is not impenetrable and it does not last forever, especially if you do not maintain its health. A well-made saddle might only last a few years if it's not properly taken care of, compared with a well-maintained saddle, which can last a lifetime. Alright guys, now I want to run you through how I clean a Western saddle, and I know there's lots of different opinions and ways of going about this, and everyone has got their products that they like. In my experience, there's a lot of those soapy, lathery products out there that really in the long term kill the life of your leather, and it's the simple old tricks that are timeless that really actually are the best for taking care of a saddle that can make it last for years and years and years. And along with that, the very best thing you can do to preserve the longevity of a piece of leather equipment like a saddle is being proactive and cleaning that mud and dirt and sweat as you use that item, and that is really the number one thing. But a great thing that also helps just curate and protect that leather is olive oil. And that's really it, guys. So the very first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take a lightly damp rag and I'm going to go over all the mud, every bit of dirt that's caked on, sweat marks, any dust. I'm gonna go underneath all my skirts, backs of the fenders, billets, everything. Get everything well wiped down so that there's no dirt left on that saddle. You do not want to use too much water. You don't want a bunch of moisture soaking into your leather right before you do this. So you're just going to use a damp rag, and you're even going to let the saddle dry for a little bit. And that's why you're doing this on a warm day, so that you don't have tons of moisture on that leather for the next step. But yeah, once you've got everything good and cleaned out, maybe you got a toothbrush in those cracks and crevices that are hard to reach, you're all set for getting out your paper towels and a light coat of olive oil. You do not need very much. And you're gonna go over every bit of leather on that saddle. Go over your strings, go over your billets, go over your seat, horn, everything. A light coat of olive oil just over every little piece. I'm gonna undo my stirrups and do all these intricate straps on the insides of my stirrups. And you're gonna want to let that saddle sit in the warm air for about a day, and then you are all set. That will preserve the life of your saddle for years and years to come. Keep your leather from rotting out. I generally do this once a year, unless the condition of the leather requires that you do it another time. But that's all it takes, really, to take care of a Western saddle for the long term. Okay, it is Friday and I'm leaving Ashland, Ohio. We're gonna be headed over to a town called Shelby today. We've got not too long a day, about 18 miles, and yeah, not too hot either. Pretty nice for August. Yeah, big thanks to Steve and Sharon Teffenhart for putting me up the last 2 nights and looking after us. They're also driving the load ahead today, so thanks to them for that as well. Denver and Eddie are so used to meeting new faces, they're usually the more disinterested ones. Alright, so a bunch of you have been asking how you can support the Year of the Mustang journey. What can you do to help this trip? And I'm here to fill you in on that. And I just want to say, guys, a big thanks. Thank you so much for supporting this journey, whether it was financially or physically out here on the trail, or just by following these videos. It all helps out. Thank you guys so much. It's a big thing. Please, guys, continue to support this channel, watch these videos, like, share, comment on all of our content. Check out our other social media pages as well. All of that helps us out. We also have yearofthemustang.com, so if you want to get yourself some merchandise through Year of the Mustang, we've got hats, hoodies, t-shirts, all of that. Go check out the website, pick yourself out something. You can also donate directly on that website, and all those proceeds go to taking care of the horses, feeding them, taking care of their needs, and some of mine as well while we're out here on the trail. So thank you to all of those who have supported us financially. On YouTube, you can also drop us a super thanks. So that's YouTube's donation option. Go check that out. It's been super inspiring to see how many people have believed in the mission of this trip and supported us, and it's brought a lot of good as a result and gotten this message out there. So thanks, guys, for believing us and supporting us in so many different ways. It means a ton. Love you guys. Okay, it is Saturday, last day of the week. I am leaving Shelby, Ohio. We're gonna be headed almost to Bucyrus, Ohio today. Not very far, just under 17 miles. Big thanks to the Hansons for putting me up last night. They're also driving the load ahead, so big thanks to them for all of their help. It's nice and cool today, got a breeze going. Should be pretty easy into the week.
right, guys, it is the end of week 46, and I am just out of Bucyrus, Ohio. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope that you enjoyed it. If you did, hit that like button. Also, make sure that you subscribe so that you don't miss the videos we have coming out every single week for this project. Also, we are headed to Indiana in this upcoming week. We are gonna go 6 days and push for that state line. So hope to see you in the next video. Until then, adios.